Hi, Lillian DeFries here with Alive in Healthcare. Just wanted to talk to you today about how do we handle opinionated people. Well, talking with a client today, we came up with a few strategies, and really it's about who is that person who is very opinionated? Is it somebody who's open minded or somebody who's really strong headed and only wants everybody to agree with their opinion? That will make the difference between how you will handle the situation. As well, are they coworkers? Are they people that you see every day? Or are they people you can eliminate in your life, right? Sometimes it's difficult to eliminate family. It's much easier to eliminate our friends, so called friends, if that's how they are with us, and a little bit difficult to eliminate people we're working with. We can avoid them, but we still have to work with them sometimes. So we came up with different strategies together as a client. We were brainstorming. One of them was just clearly say, you know what, I can see you have a very strong opinion on this, and it's not a subject I want to get into. That's one way of handling it. Another way of handling it would be to say, I'm curious, what's your intention here in being so strongly opinionated? Are you looking for me to agree with you? Are you looking for me to challenge you in your thoughts? Ask them with a question, or ask them, what's their intention really in their strong opinion. Other times it might be just severing the relationship and saying, you know what, I'm not into this. I want to surround myself with positive energy, and this is not the kind of energy I'm looking forward to deal with. Other times it's okay to keep your mouth shut, take a couple of deep breaths. But that was one thing that we talked about, was taking those deep breaths first before we make any decision on how to handle it. And what are your thoughts around when you are around opinionated people? What if you've got an opinionated leader, an opinionated boss, and when you come up with ideas, they just shut you out? How do you handle that? Well, I remember a time when I had a boss like that, and I asked my boss, I took a few deep breaths, had the courage to go up to that boss. This was many years ago. And I said, I'd like to talk to you. And I sat down with him. And in that office, I said, I'm really nervous about sitting here. So I became vulnerable at the very beginning. I said, I'm very nervous about sitting here and having this conversation with you because my experience has been, my experience, right? It's not about who you are, but my experience has been that when I say something, you tend to cut me off and you're not really listening to what I'm saying. So I would like to ask, before I even start, if I could have the floor here just to speak my mind, to let you know what's going on my side here, and if you would have the time to listen. And that really put him in a different place, because he thought to himself, really? I don't listen? Well, I'm going to prove her wrong. Now I'm going to listen, right? So there was that place. So I came in very gently, asked for what I needed, which is really important. And that conversation ended up being 2 hours long. It was powerful. He even came back to me the next day and said, I'm really grateful for that conversation we had. And I think that our relationship has shifted. I was feeling very hurt. He became vulnerable, which was really different from, who he was at first. And it was about me taking the chance to be vulnerable, to be honest, and more specifically, to ask for what I needed. So that changed things. And what was really cool about that was when his patterns started to show up again, I was able to say, here's a moment that we had a conversation about, and I'm feeling that right now. And he was able to put on that lens of, am I doing this? And he was able to calm down. So there are many ways of handling things, but I would love to hear from you. How do you handle opinionated people in your life? Do you eliminate them? Do you just close your mouth and not say anything? Do you get them out of your life, or do you handle them when they are your employees or they are your leaders? How do you handle them? Please share. I'd love to hear from you. Have yourself an awesome day and an awesome weekend. Take care.